speaking of crazy, do you remember Lara Logan? She's still alive, right? She still exists. What's she doing? She is on Real America Voice. She has been blacklisted from every other network, which is impressive.
Right.
Like she and Mike Lindell are really the only two people who can't get on, don't have carte blanche to go on and be crazy. And you're not going to believe this, but she has a different explanation for the Baltimore bridge collapse as opposed to the DEI thing. She has an alt theory. Here it is.
Permits. It costs money to get a permit. It requires an escort, right? You've seen it on the highways sometimes. You've seen when you have these massive oversized loads and they've got escorts all around them, these huge convoys. Well, what do you do on one of the busiest corridors in the United States? You don't shut it down in the day so this can happen. That means you can only move this stuff at night, which automatically impacts the amount of traffic that you can use. The tunnel is going to be overloaded. This is what you call death by 1,000 cuts. It is an absolutely catastrophic attack on critical infrastructure, and you cannot see it because a cyber attack is unseen. Just like the attack on 2020 on the voting machine that you cannot see.
Okay, I want to go. You just had this big thing with the FBI talking about what the Chinese Communist Party's cyber hacking unit that they've been monitoring for 10 years, and now they're saying it's out of control. Are your sources telling you that they feel there's enough information out there that it is a cyber attack, and is it a state actor or non-state actors?
100%, yes. They are saying that this is a cyber attack. You didn't have a terrorist group board the ship and commandeer it and take it over. You had somebody hack into the systems on board the ship, the GPS system, and reroute that ship. They did it in the middle of the night because they didn't want the crew to be awake. They didn't want everybody to be on full high alert. They wanted everybody to be asleep.
Pause it for 1 second. Listen, I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about shipping.
Yeah.
But it seems to me, if you've got one of these massive container ships and you are, I don't know, 500 feet from shore in a...
That's time to work, I think.
That you've probably either just arrived in the port of Baltimore or you're leaving. Everybody's like, hey, everybody, get on the boat. We're going to start it up. Now go to sleep.
I'm tired.
I think what happens is that when people are, when you're entering or you're leaving a port,
disembarking,
it's probably what they call all hands on deck, which is a technical term for everyone's who's on board the boat paying attention to what's going on. And it's also not like these ships are not like steered by people in the hull, like rowing the whole thing. Like half of them were asleep. That's why we couldn't turn right, because we only had the guys on the left pulling the oars. This is just bizarro, but continue.
Everybody to be on full high alert. They wanted everybody to be asleep and you trying to wake people up and rouse people, because when I spoke to one individual who has, let's just say he worked in Baltimore for many, many years and was there when that bridge was opened. He knew when he looked at the security camera video of the harbor, the long version, the 7 minutes, he knew from the start of that video when he looked at that ship that it was not in the channel. You need to be in the channel to make that turn, to have any chance of making that turn. So now you're traveling. That is a river that flows pretty quickly, Steve, even under normal circumstances, right? And at a certain point, you're committed. That ship is heavy, the load is heavy, the water flowing at a certain speed, you've got very little room to maneuver. So at a certain point, there was absolutely nothing that they could do to stop that ship.
Yeah, they lost power.
I mean,
I like how at any given moment she's like an expert on like river currents as
Let's
well
just
as
say I know.
I mean, I have no doubt that some of what she's saying is correct, but it doesn't. If there's these currents and it's that difficult, I find it hard to believe that they'd be like, everybody go to sleep.
Yeah, no, it's time to take a nap. this disembarkation from a port, a treacherous port that actually, yeah. Carl Bayer found some other tweets on this subject that I think just interesting to sprinkle in here. Here's a guy. Would Marxist Democrat scum kill those people and destroy that bridge just so they could rename it after someone other than the writer of the Star-Spangled Banner? You bet they asked they could. And what I love about that theory is that not that the Democrats are doing massive terrorism against infrastructure just to rename things.
Right.
But that Biden is doing it in the run-up to an election when, like, actually, like, if I was Biden, I'd be like, hey, can you wait until if Trump gets in office before we, like, take out a massive port?
Yeah, I think we should stop our own domestic sabotage and terrorism until after the election.
I'm running on the economy over here, folks. So, yeah, there's some great ones here. Just, here's another woman. I'll be the first to ask that CNN and that CNN and everyone else stop showing the video. Baltimore Mayor does not want people to see the collapse of the bridge. This is a communist-controlled demolition. And now I think the video is kind of out. I think more that request was just so that just for taste. But anyway, here's another guy. When they finally clear the harbor, God only knows with Pete, but the homophobic thing there, the bridge will not be rebuilt. We no longer have the capacity or national will to do such projects. Our key infrastructure is mostly World War II and Vietnam era, and the communists are busy destroying it. So, yeah. I think we can make bridges still. I'm pretty I think America needs to get its stuff together, but I think we can still make a bridge.
There's a bridge in Boston that was, I guess that's probably 10, 15 years old now.
Before the wokeness.
Before the wokeness infected everything. Woke bridge. Actually, though, what is that bridge from Queens to Brooklyn? I can never pronounce it.
The Kosciuszko?
What is it?
The Kosciuszko?
The Kosciuszko. Yeah. That's pretty new.
Was he woke?
He was probably a little woke.
So woke.